Does intermittent fasting help? Absolutely it does. So what happens is, what is the premise of intermittent fasting? After 12 hours, we go into a fat burn. So, which means instead of burning carbohydrate for fuel, for energy, your body starts burning the fat for fuel. So this would even actually work for the belly fat that the person asked me before. So it's a great idea, barring weight loss, fat loss, intermittent fasting. Now it's documented. There's enough and more data to show that intermittent fasting also helps with health parameters at large. So people looking to drop triglycerides, drop cholesterol, drop visceral fat, all of that, it hugely helps. So intermittent fasting is a great idea. Can also help people with diabetes. Anyone with a hormonal issue, whether it is diabetes, whether it is thyroid, they must be careful and do intermittent fasting only under guidance, because we do see hormonal fluctuation that happens with IF. Especially people's morning sugars can go up. It's called the dawn effect. So you can do, that can happen. The TSH can waver, and we don't want any of that happening, right? So, okay. Hi doctor, do you recommend plant-based diets in general for a health point of view, or is animal protein and dairy a must? I don't think anything is a must, lawyer Kavita Shah. I think it depends on your lifestyle and what you've grown up eating, and what your lifestyle is. I personally am not a vegetarian, and I think a Mediterranean diet really works the best, which is why I try and incorporate that even with my clients, and I tell them that at least 3 meals a week you must try and do seafood. The problem with meat is not the animal protein per se, but how the animal has been raised. So because of the GMO, because of antibiotics, because of pesticides. So if you can get grass-fed, then there is no harm in eating all meals as far as I'm concerned with protein. Should intermittent fasting be done a few days a month? Well, it depends on what the objective is. If you're trying to drop weight, you can do it about 5 days a week. If you're somebody like me who's not looking at dropping weight but still enjoys eating their meal out, I do it 3 times a week because it kind of balances it. So 3 times a week is great for a maintenance. 5 times a week is great for weight loss. Again, my personal opinion is intermittent fasting should not be done 7 days a week. Why? Because there is something that's called metabolic flexibility, which means that your metabolism should be in a place where it knows how to be flexible depending on the scenario. Now, you may do 7 days a week of intermittent fasting, and will you get the desired results, fat loss, weight loss? Yes, of course you will. But if you decide then to go on a holiday, or there's somebody's wedding, or if, for whatever reason you can't do 7 days, then your body starts storing the fat because it's not used to having the morning breakfast or the night dinner. So this is the principle of metabolic flexibility. And again, there is enough data now to suggest that 5 days works better than 7 days. And for me, I see it with my patients all the time. Patients who do 5 days a week actually do much better than 7 days a week. So for those who asked me, I'm sorry I lost your name in the thing, but you can by all means try 5 days if you're trying to drop the weight. Do you recommend a faster workout on I guess you mean fasting workout? Yes, on a fasted state, you definitely get fat burning. Again, you need to wean yourself into that. You should not go from 0 to 100. So if you're somebody who doesn't even work out or works out after a heavy breakfast, you can't go from that state into eating, not for 16 hours and then trying to exercise. I don't think that's a great idea. Wean yourself into and out of a program both ways. So, but if you can get to that stage, then working out on a fasted state will always give you much better results in terms of fat burn. Intermediate, I'm guessing you mean intermittent fasting for PCOS is good. Yes, it's very good for PCOS. But remember, PCOS, like I said earlier, is also a hormonal issue. So please do it under guidance. Please speak to a doctor, because there are ways to, to make sure that the hormonal imbalance actually doesn't get worse with PCOS. So it depends on where your TSH is at and what medication you're taking, and do you have insulin resistance, etc. How many hours do you personally do intermittent fasting, doctor? So I do, depending on my lifestyle. So if I have a really long day, I must confess, I don't hit 16 hours. I do 14 hours. So my window can be, typically 6:30 in the evening is when I finish dinner, and 8:30 in the morning is when I have my breakfast, because I start work at 9 sharp. So that on weekdays, very often that is my window, 14 hours. Also remember, I'm not trying to drop weight. I'm just trying to be metabolically healthy. So I just need to make sure that I am my insulins and my sugars don't surge. You're welcome, Akanksha. So, but if you're trying to drop weight, you should try and do 16. And if you're somebody who's eating in the middle of the night as of now, don't go from 8 to 16. Do you do longer fasts like 18 hours? Well, I have tried even 24 hours. I've tried the OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. Frankly, I was not successful at it. So I think the way to do a long fasting, 18 hours is easy. I can do that. But 24 hours, I have a lot of my patients who do it and very successfully. But I don't think I'm a candidate for 24 hours. I literally get hangry. So maybe, I don't know. I thought it was my hormones, but my hormones seem to be on track and all good. But I'm good with 16 hours. I'm good with 18 hours. But when I have very long work hours, 14 hours is my window. But OMAD diets do well. I do not recommend OMAD diets, 1 meal a day, 24 hours for more than once a week maybe. And unless you have specific medical conditions like cancer, then it's a different protocol I give. Do longer fasts like 18 hours cause hormonal imbalance? That's a great question, Tanvi. Yes, they can, which is why they need to be done under medical supervision only, especially in people who've got insulin resistance, who've got diabetes, who've got specifically high fasting sugars, who've got, irregular periods, thyroid imbalances. IF, especially long IF, should definitely be done under supervision. If I'm hungry and don't give in, I get a headache. What foods do you suggest as a snack on the go? Pooja, like I just said, opt for nuts and fats. First of all, if you have done a long intermittent fast and you're getting headaches, chances are it's because of an electrolyte imbalance. So even better than food, what can really help is to replenish with electrolytes, which means you use rock salt, not your table salt, not the white salt, but you can use, so you can have a glass of limbu pani or a glass of chas, which is great in this weather in any case, and replenish with rock salt, because you don't need sodium, you need the potassium, chloride, you need all the other electrolytes. And that is typically what gets depleted, not only in the summer, but especially if you do intermittent fasting. So you're welcome, Tanvi. So I definitely recommend those kind of things. Pooja, try that. Your headache should vanish. Sonika.